Question 1. A project manager is leading a global initiative when a key stakeholder in a critical region suddenly becomes unresponsive, jeopardizing local compliance approvals necessary for project delivery. The project manager has attempted multiple communication channels without success. According to the PMBOK guide, what is the most appropriate next action the project manager should take to address this stakeholder issue? A. Escalate the issue to the project sponsor for immediate intervention. B. Update the risk register with the unresponsive stakeholder as a new high-impact threat. C. Engage an alternative local liaison or team member to attempt contact and understand the situation. D. Document the unresponsiveness and proceed with other project activities, noting the potential delay. Answer: C. Engage an alternative local liaison or team member to attempt contact and understand the situation. When a key stakeholder becomes unresponsive, the project manager's most appropriate initial step is to gather more information and attempt to re-establish communication through alternative channels or contacts before escalating. Engaging an alternative local liaison or team member is a proactive way to understand the root cause of the unresponsiveness and potentially find a workaround or a new communication path, demonstrating a problem-solving approach. Escalation to the sponsor, while a valid later step, is often premature without first exhausting direct information gathering efforts. Think of it like trying a friend's phone when their primary number doesn't work before calling their parents. Your goal is to regain engagement and move the project forward by understanding the situation first. Question 2. A large, complex program involving multiple interdependent projects is facing a significant challenge. One of the core projects is on schedule and budget, but its deliverables are no longer aligning with the evolving strategic benefits the program was designed to achieve. As the program manager, what is your primary responsibility in this situation? A. Direct the project manager to realign their project scope to ensure benefits realization, even if it impacts their schedule. B. Document the divergence and initiate a formal change request to revise the program's strategic objectives. C. Facilitate a program-level review with key stakeholders to assess the impact on overall program benefits and determine the best path forward. D. Transfer resources from the misaligned project to other projects that are more directly contributing to current program benefits. Answer: C. Facilitate a program-level review with key stakeholders to assess the impact on overall program benefits and determine the best path forward. A program manager's primary focus is on realizing strategic benefits through coordinated projects, not just ensuring individual project success. When a project's deliverables diverge from the evolving program benefits, the program manager's crucial responsibility is to facilitate a discussion with key stakeholders to understand the full impact and collectively decide the best course of action for the program as a whole. This collaborative approach ensures that strategic alignment is maintained and that any adjustments are made with full awareness of the program's overarching goals. Think of it as a conductor ensuring all musicians play in harmony to deliver the intended symphony, rather than letting one instrument play a different tune because it sounds good on its own. Question 3. A project team is nearing the completion of a complex software development project. During final testing, a critical bug is discovered that could compromise data integrity in specific edge cases, but only with a very low probability of occurrence. Rectifying this bug would require a significant re-architecture, delaying deployment by several months and exceeding the remaining budget. The project manager has identified this as a high-impact, very low-probability threat. Considering the project's tight deadline and budget constraints, which advanced risk response strategy would be most appropriate for the project manager to propose to the stakeholders? A. Avoidance, by completely redesigning the affected module to eliminate the risk. B. Mitigation, by implementing extensive manual workarounds for affected users. C. Transfer, by purchasing a specialized cyber liability insurance policy that covers data integrity breaches. D. Active acceptance, by setting aside a contingency reserve and developing a detailed workaround plan for the specific edge cases if they occur. Answer: D. Active acceptance, by setting aside a contingency reserve and developing a detailed workaround plan for the specific edge cases if they occur. For high-impact, very low-probability threats, especially when avoidance or extensive mitigation is prohibitively expensive or time-consuming, active acceptance is often the most pragmatic and effective strategy. This involves recognizing the risk, not ignoring it, but choosing to accept its potential impact while proactively planning how to deal with it if it materializes. Setting aside a contingency reserve and developing a detailed workaround plan prepares the team to respond swiftly if the rare event occurs, minimizing disruption without incurring excessive upfront costs. Consider this like having a fire extinguisher readily available for a building with a low risk of fire. You don't rebuild the entire structure to prevent all fires, but you are prepared to address one if it happens. Question 4. During a sprint retrospective, the development team raises concerns about persistent technical debt accumulating due to continuous pressure to deliver new features. They feel this is compromising the quality and long-term maintainability of the product. As the Scrum Master, what is your primary role in addressing this feedback? A. Inform the product owner that the team needs to dedicate an entire future sprint solely to technical debt. B. Facilitate a discussion to help the team understand the product owner's priorities and the trade-offs involved in feature delivery versus technical debt. C. Coach the team on how to articulate the impact of technical debt to the product owner in a way that highlights business value. D. Address technical debt as a high-priority item to the top of the product backlog. Answer: C. Coach the team on how to articulate the impact of technical debt to the product owner in a way that highlights business value. As a Scrum Master, your primary role is to coach the team and product owner on Scrum values and practices, and to help them collaborate effectively. When the team raises concerns about technical debt, the most effective approach is to coach them on how to frame this issue in terms of business value, making it understandable and actionable for the product owner. This empowers the team to advocate for the product's long-term health and helps the product owner make informed decisions about prioritizing items on the product backlog. Think of it as helping a student present their case persuasively to a teacher, rather than simply presenting it for them. Question 5. A project manager is overseeing a complex regulatory compliance project in a rapidly changing legislative environment. Halfway through the project, a new interpretation of a key regulation emerges, significantly impacting several planned deliverables. The project sponsor insists on maintaining the original scope and deadline, despite the increased complexity. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take? A. Challenge the sponsor's directive, explaining the impossibility of meeting the original scope and deadline under the new conditions. B. Re-evaluate the project plan to incorporate the new regulatory requirements and present a revised schedule and budget to the sponsor. C. Communicate the potential risks of proceeding without adjusting the scope or timeline, then follow the sponsor's directive. D. Focus on delivering the parts of the project unaffected by the new interpretation and defer the impacted deliverables to a future phase. Answer: B. Re-evaluate the project plan to incorporate the new regulatory requirements and present a revised schedule and budget to the sponsor. In dynamic environments, project managers must remain proactive and adaptive. When a significant change like a new regulatory interpretation impacts the project manager's most appropriate action is to promptly re-evaluate the project plan, understand the full implications, and then present a revised schedule and budget to the sponsor. This demonstrates professional accountability and provides the sponsor with the necessary information to make an informed decision, rather than simply accepting or rejecting a directive without providing a clear path forward. Consider this like a pilot adjusting their flight plan due to unexpected weather conditions, rather than just ignoring the weather or refusing to fly. Question 6. An organization has recently adopted an Agile approach for its new product development initiatives. The CEO, accustomed to traditional project progress reports, asks the product owner for a comprehensive Gantt chart detailing all features and their fixed delivery dates for the next year. How should the product owner best respond to this request? A. Create a detailed roadmap with projected feature releases, explaining that exact fixed dates are challenging in an Agile environment. B. Explain that Agile frameworks prioritize working software over comprehensive documentation and offer a demonstration of the latest increment. C. Present the product backlog, explaining that it represents the current understanding of priorities and is subject to change. D. Collaborate with the Scrum Master to educate the CEO on Agile principles, emphasizing adaptive planning and value delivery through iterations. Answer: D. Collaborate with the Scrum Master to educate the CEO on Agile principles, emphasizing adaptive planning and value delivery through iterations. The product owner and Scrum Master are key roles responsible for promoting and supporting Agile within the organization. When faced with a request that conflicts with Agile principles, the most effective response is to educate the stakeholder on why Agile operates differently and the benefits it provides. Collaborating ensures a unified message and leverages the Scrum Master's expertise in Agile adoption and coaching. This helps manage expectations and fosters a better understanding of Agile's adaptive nature, rather than simply providing a workaround or an incomplete answer. Think of it as teaching a new driver how to use a GPS for flexible route planning, instead of just giving them a fixed paper map. Question 7. A project manager receives a change request that would significantly increase the scope of a critical deliverable, but also promises substantial long-term strategic benefits for the organization. The project is already over budget and behind schedule. According to the PMBOK guide, what is the first action the project manager should take? A. Perform an integrated change control analysis to assess the impact on all project constraints and the project management plan. B. Discuss the change request directly with the project sponsor to get their immediate approval or rejection based on strategic value. C. Convene the Change Control Board, CCB, to review the request and make a decision. D. Inform the requester that the project cannot accommodate further scope increases due to current performance issues. Answer: A. Perform an integrated change control analysis to assess the impact on all project constraints and the project management plan. The first step in handling any change request, regardless of its perceived value, is to systematically analyze its potential impact on all aspects of the project. Performing an integrated change control analysis involves evaluating the effects on scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, and risks, and how it aligns with the project management plan. This allows the project manager to provide comprehensive data and a well-informed recommendation to the Change Control Board, CCB, or sponsor for decision-making. Imagine a doctor fully assessing a patient's condition before recommending a treatment, rather than immediately granting a patient's request for a specific medicine. Question 8. A newly formed Agile team is struggling with unpredictability. Despite detailed sprint planning sessions, they consistently fail to meet their sprint goals, primarily due to external dependencies and unforeseen technical complexities discovered mid-sprint. The Scrum Master wants to improve the team's predictability. Which of the following techniques would be most effective for the Scrum Master to introduce? A. Implement daily status reports to track individual team member progress more closely. B. Introduce story point estimation and encourage the team to refine the product backlog more frequently with the product owner. C. Facilitate deeper technical spikes and dependency mapping during product backlog refinement. D. Advise the product owner to narrow the scope of sprint goals to ensure easier achievement. Answer: C. Facilitate deeper technical spikes and dependency mapping during product backlog refinement. When a team struggles with predictability due to unforeseen complexities and external dependencies, the most effective solution is to address these issues earlier and more thoroughly. Facilitating deeper technical spikes, short, time-boxed investigations, and comprehensive dependency mapping during product backlog refinement helps the team uncover potential issues before sprint planning. This enables better estimation, more realistic sprint goals, and proactive management of external factors, leading to improved predictability. Think of it like a chef researching complex ingredients and their interactions before starting to cook a new dish, rather than discovering issues during the actual cooking process. Question 9. As a project manager for a major infrastructure project, you receive daily status updates from your team. You notice that a critical path activity is consistently reporting progress just slightly behind schedule, but the team assures you they will catch up. This trend has continued for several reporting periods. Which of the following is the best proactive measure to take? A. Apply the rule of 7 to the progress reports to determine if the trend is significant enough to warrant intervention. B. Immediately update the project schedule and communicate the revised completion date to stakeholders. C. Engage with the team lead and the responsible team member to understand the underlying reasons for the consistent slight delay. D. Instruct the team to allocate overtime to the activity to ensure they catch up and mitigate further delays. Answer: C. Engage with the team lead and the responsible team member to understand the underlying reasons for the consistent slight delay. When a critical path activity consistently reports slight delays, even if the team expresses confidence, it's a red flag indicating potential underlying issues. The best proactive measure is to engage directly with the team to understand the root cause of the consistent delays. This approach focuses on problem solving and support, rather than immediately escalating or imposing solutions, and can uncover systemic issues or unstated impediments before they become major problems. It's like a coach noticing a slight change in an athlete's performance and having a conversation to understand if they are facing any challenges. Question 10. A seasoned project manager is assigned to an Agile project where the product owner frequently changes priorities mid-sprint, leading to unfinished work and demoralized team members. The Scrum Master has tried to address this, but the product owner insists on responding to urgent business needs. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager, acting as a servant leader in this context, to take to support the team? A. Facilitate a meeting with the product owner and key business stakeholders to clarify the impact of mid-sprint changes on value delivery and team morale. B. Escalate the issue directly to senior management, requesting intervention to enforce Scrum rules on the product owner. C. Advise the development team to push back on the product owner's mid-sprint changes by refusing to take on new work. D. Take over the product owner's role for a sprint to demonstrate proper product backlog management. Answer: A. Facilitate a meeting with the product owner and key business stakeholders to clarify the impact of mid-sprint changes on value delivery and team morale. When a product owner consistently makes mid-sprint changes, it disrupts the team's flow and undermines the sprint goal, impacting predictability and morale. The most appropriate action for a servant leader is to facilitate a discussion with all relevant parties, including the product owner and key business stakeholders. This helps everyone understand the negative consequences of frequent mid-sprint changes on value delivery, team stability, and the overall project, fostering a shared understanding and a more disciplined approach to planning. It's like calling a family meeting to discuss how frequent last-minute changes to vacation plans are affecting everyone's enjoyment and coordination. Question 11. During the execution phase of a major construction project, the project manager learns that a key supplier of custom components has declared bankruptcy. These components are essential and have a long lead time, directly impacting the project's critical path. The project manager had previously identified supplier bankruptcy as a known risk in the risk register but had assessed its probability as very low. What is the immediate next step the project manager should take? A. Consult the contingency plan developed for this specific risk. B. Notify the project sponsor and key stakeholders about the impending delay. C. Issue a formal change request to extend the project schedule. D. Initiate procurement activities to find a new supplier immediately. Answer: A. Consult the contingency plan developed for this specific risk. When a previously identified risk materializes, especially one with a significant impact on the critical path, the immediate next step is to execute the predefined risk response plan. This plan, often called a contingency plan, outlines the specific actions to be taken when the risk occurs. This proactive approach ensures a rapid and coordinated response, minimizing panic and potential further delays. Think of it like a fire drill where, upon hearing the alarm, everyone immediately follows the established evacuation plan rather than just running out or debating what to do. Question 12. A project team is working on a complex software system. The product owner frequently adds new, high-priority features to the product backlog, leading to a continuously expanding scope and difficulty in achieving a done increment each sprint. The development team is becoming increasingly frustrated. What is the most effective strategy for the Scrum Master to employ in this situation? A. Coach the product owner on the importance of less is more and managing stakeholder expectations regarding scope. B. Insist that the development team refuses new features mid-sprint and only pulls work from the sprint backlog. C. Facilitate a scope shaping workshop with the product owner and key stakeholders to reprioritize the entire product backlog. D. Work with the development team to improve their estimation skills so they can accommodate the evolving scope more efficiently. Answer: A. Coach the product owner on the importance of less is more and managing stakeholder expectations regarding scope. In an agile environment, continuous scope expansion without proper prioritization can lead to an unmanageable product backlog and a demoralized team. The Scrum Master's role is to coach the product owner on effective product backlog management, emphasizing the importance of a focused approach and the less is more principle to achieve a done increment. This coaching helps the product owner understand the impact of constantly shifting priorities and encourages disciplined stakeholder management to ensure sustainable development. Imagine a fitness coach advising a client to focus on a few key exercises for better results, rather than trying to do every exercise at once. Question 13. A global project team is experiencing significant communication breakdowns and cultural misunderstandings, leading to rework and missed deadlines. The project manager has tried general team building activities, but the issues persist. According to the PMBOK guide's emphasis on team performance, what is the most impactful strategy for the project manager to implement next? A. Reassign team members to roles that minimize cross-cultural interaction. B. Implement a mandatory cross-cultural communication training program for all team members. C. Facilitate structured workshops focused on building cultural intelligence and developing shared communication protocols. D. Increase the frequency of formal written communications to reduce ambiguity. Answer: C. Facilitate structured workshops focused on building cultural intelligence and developing shared communication protocols. When a global team faces persistent communication and cultural issues, a targeted and interactive approach is more effective than general team building or simply increasing formal communication. Facilitating structured workshops allows team members to actively learn about cultural intelligence, understand diverse communication styles, and collaboratively develop shared protocols specific to their project context. This fosters a sense of ownership over the solutions and builds empathy, directly addressing the root causes of misunderstanding. Think of it as a sports team analyzing their communication failures during a game and then practicing specific signals to improve coordination. Question 14. A project manager is reviewing the current performance metrics of a fixed-price contract project. The project is currently behind schedule and over budget. The project manager is calculating the to-complete performance index, TCPI, using the budget at completion, BAC, as the basis. What does a TCPI value greater than 1.0 indicate in this context? A. The project is performing efficiently and is likely to finish under budget. B. The remaining work must be completed at a lower efficiency than originally planned to stay within the budget. C. The remaining work must be completed at a higher efficiency than originally planned to stay within the budget. D. The project will inevitably exceed the original budget, regardless of future performance. Answer: C. The remaining work must be completed at a higher efficiency than originally planned to stay within the budget. The To-Complete Performance Index, TCPI, is a projection of the cost performance required to achieve a specified management objective, often the budget at completion, BAC. A TCPI value greater than 1.0 indicates that the remaining work must be completed at a higher efficiency than originally planned for the project to finish within its total budget. It means the team needs to work more efficiently or cut costs for the remaining work to avoid exceeding the budget. Consider it like needing to run faster than your average pace for the rest of a race if you want to hit your target finish time, because you've fallen behind. Question 15. The Agile team has been consistently struggling to accurately estimate the effort required for product backlog items, leading to frequently missed sprint goals and a declining team morale. The Scrum Master has tried coaching on various estimation techniques, but the problem persists. What is the most impactful action the Scrum Master should take next to address this persistent challenge? A. Insist on a mandatory, no estimates, approach for all future sprints to reduce pressure. B. Facilitate a session with the product owner and development team to discuss and refine the definition of done for better clarity. C. Recommend that the team focuses more on breaking down large items into smaller, more manageable pieces during refinement. D. Implement a strict timeboxing for estimation sessions to improve efficiency and decision-making. Answer: C. Recommend that the team focuses more on breaking down large items into smaller, more manageable pieces during refinement. When a team struggles with estimation and consistently misses sprint goals, a common root cause is that the product backlog items are too large or ill-defined to be accurately estimated. The most impactful action for a Scrum Master is to guide the team and product owner to break down large items into smaller, more granular, and well-understood pieces during product backlog refinement. Smaller items are inherently easier to estimate, lead to more accurate forecasts, and improve the team's ability to achieve their sprint goals, which boosts morale. Think of it like trying to estimate how long it will take to build a house versus estimating how long it will take to build a single wall. The smaller piece is much more predictable. Question 16. A project manager is leading a highly innovative project with significant technical unknowns and frequently changing requirements. The team is struggling with traditional predictive planning methods, leading to constant scope creep and rebaselining. The sponsor is open to suggestions for a more effective approach. Which life cycle approach should the project manager recommend as most suitable for this project? A. Predictive life cycle, with a robust change control process to manage evolving requirements. B. Iterative life cycle, allowing for repeated cycles of planning and development with feedback loops. C. Hybrid life cycle, combining upfront planning for known elements with agile approaches for unknown elements. D. Adaptive, agile, life cycle, emphasizing continuous delivery, rapid feedback, and embracing change. Answer: D. Adaptive, agile, life cycle, emphasizing continuous delivery, rapid feedback, and embracing change. For projects characterized by significant technical unknowns and frequently changing requirements, an adaptive or agile life cycle is the most suitable approach. This approach embraces change, delivers value in small, frequent increments, and relies on rapid feedback loops to guide development. This flexibility allows the team to learn and adapt as new information emerges, directly addressing the challenges of uncertainty and evolving requirements. Think of it like navigating an uncharted forest. You don't plan the entire route up front, but rather take small steps, observe the terrain, and adjust your direction as you go. Question 17. During a sprint review, a key stakeholder expresses strong dissatisfaction with a recently delivered feature, stating it does not meet their fundamental needs, despite being aligned with the product backlog item's acceptance criteria. The product owner confirms the feature meets the criteria but acknowledges the stakeholder's sentiment. What is the most appropriate next step for the product owner? A. Document the stakeholder's feedback and explain to the development team that the stakeholder changed their mind. B. Prioritize a new product backlog item, PBI, to address the stakeholder's revised needs in an upcoming sprint. C. Immediately stop the sprint review and schedule an emergency meeting with the development team to rework the feature. D. Facilitate a dialogue between the stakeholder and the development team to collaboratively explore the underlying need and desired outcome. Answer: D. Facilitate a dialogue between the stakeholder and the development team to collaboratively explore the underlying need and desired outcome. When a stakeholder expresses dissatisfaction despite the feature meeting acceptance criteria, it often indicates a deeper, unarticulated need or a misunderstanding. The product owner's most appropriate action is to facilitate a direct dialogue between the stakeholder and the development team. This collaboration allows for a richer understanding of the underlying need, clarifies expectations, and helps to collaboratively define a solution that truly delivers value, fostering better stakeholder engagement and ensuring future work is better aligned. Think of it as a chef bringing a diner and the cook together to understand why a dish didn't quite hit the mark, even if it followed the recipe. Question 18. A project manager is leading a high-stakes project with significant reputational risks. A newly identified risk has a very high probability of occurring and a moderate impact. The team has limited resources to dedicate to risk response. Which risk response strategy, typically considered for opportunities, could be innovatively applied here for this threat? A. Exploit, by deliberately exposing the organization to the risk to learn and adapt. B. Share, by partnering with another entity to collectively manage the risk. C. Enhance, by increasing the probability or positive impact of the risk. D. Accept, by acknowledging the risk and its potential impact without proactive action. Answer: B. Share, by partnering with another entity to collectively manage the risk. While share is typically associated with opportunities, sharing gains, it can also be innovatively applied to threats, especially when resources are limited and the risk is significant. In this context, sharing means partnering with a third party who is better equipped to manage the specific threat, distributing ownership and responsibility for the risk. This could involve forming a joint venture, entering a strategic alliance, or creating a specialized contract that transfers part of the risk. It's like two neighboring businesses agreeing to jointly invest in a security system to deter shared threats, rather than each buying their own expensive system. Question 19. A project manager has just completed the project charter and identified initial key stakeholders. What is the next most logical step for the project manager to perform in the project management plan development process? A. Develop the project management plan, focusing on the detailed work breakdown structure. B. Conduct a stakeholder analysis to identify their interests, influence, and potential impact on the project. C. Begin gathering detailed requirements from key stakeholders and potential users. D. Hold a kickoff meeting with the core project team to review the charter and assign initial responsibilities. Answer: B. Conduct a stakeholder analysis to identify their interests, influence, and potential impact on the project. After the project charter is approved and initial key stakeholders are identified, the next most logical and crucial step is to conduct a thorough stakeholder analysis. This process involves identifying all potential stakeholders, analyzing their interests, influence, interdependencies, and potential impact on the project. Understanding stakeholders' perspectives early is fundamental to effective communication, managing expectations, and preventing issues down the line, and it informs subsequent planning activities like requirements gathering. Think of it like a conductor first understanding the full orchestra, each musician's instrument, skill, and importance, before composing the score. Question 20. A product owner is struggling to gain consensus on the prioritization of product backlog items among a diverse group of stakeholders, each with competing departmental objectives. This is leading to constant reprioritization and team confusion. What is the most effective strategy for the product owner to employ? A. Dictate the prioritization based on their own understanding of business value, avoiding further conflict. B. Request the CEO to intervene and make the final prioritization decisions to resolve the stalemate. C. Facilitate a collaborative prioritization workshop with stakeholders, emphasizing value alignment with organizational strategic goals. D. Implement a formal voting system where each stakeholder gets an equal say in prioritization. Answer. C. Facilitate a collaborative prioritization workshop with stakeholders, emphasizing value alignment with organizational strategic goals. When faced with competing stakeholder priorities, the product owner's most effective strategy is to facilitate a collaborative workshop where stakeholders can collectively align on value and prioritize items against overarching organizational strategic goals. This approach fosters transparency, encourages shared understanding, and helps stakeholders see beyond their individual departmental objectives, leading to more informed and sustainable prioritization decisions. It's like a family deciding on vacation plans by discussing everyone's preferences and aligning them with the family's overall budget and goals, rather than just one person making all the decisions or voting on every idea. Question 21. A project team is encountering unforeseen technical challenges that threaten to significantly delay a critical deliverable. The project manager, adhering to Agile principles, holds a meeting with the team to brainstorm solutions. During the discussion, one team member suggests an innovative but unproven approach that could potentially resolve the issue quickly but carries a high degree of risk. What is the most appropriate action for the project manager to take next? A. Immediately approve the innovative approach due to its potential for speed. B. Instruct the team to stick to proven methods to minimize risk, even if it means delays. C. Facilitate a detailed risk assessment and feasibility study for the innovative approach with the team. D. Escalate the decision to the project sponsor, outlining both traditional and innovative options. Answer. C. Facilitate a detailed risk assessment and feasibility study for the innovative approach with the team. In an Agile context, embracing innovation while managing uncertainty is key. When an innovative but risky solution is proposed, the most appropriate action for the project manager is to facilitate a detailed risk assessment and feasibility study with the team. This allows for a thorough understanding of the potential benefits, challenges, and associated risks of the innovative approach, enabling an informed decision based on data rather than just enthusiasm or fear. Think of it as a medical team carefully evaluating a new experimental treatment for a patient. They don't immediately jump to it or dismiss it, but rather study its potential effects and risks. Question 22. A project is in the execution phase, and the project manager notices that key stakeholders are increasingly disengaged, providing minimal input and missing scheduled review meetings. This lack of engagement is beginning to impact decision-making and project progress. What is the most proactive and effective strategy for the project manager to re-engage these stakeholders? A. Send formal reminders about meeting attendance and the importance of their input, escalating non-compliance to senior management if necessary. B. Revise the stakeholder engagement plan by understanding the root causes of disengagement and tailoring communication and involvement strategies. C. Reduce the number of interactions with these stakeholders to avoid overwhelming them, focusing only on critical approvals. D. Assign a dedicated team member to personally chase down each stakeholder for their required input. Answer: B. Revise the stakeholder engagement plan by understanding the root causes of disengagement and tailoring communication and involvement strategies. When stakeholders become disengaged, a reactive approach like sending reminders or escalating is often less effective than understanding why they are disengaged. The most proactive and effective strategy is to revise the stakeholder engagement plan by first identifying the root causes of their disengagement, then tailoring communication and involvement strategies to better suit their needs and preferences. This might involve changing communication frequency, format, or content, or even altering the type of engagement requested, to make it more relevant and valuable to them. Consider it like adjusting your teaching method for a student who is losing interest. You try to understand their learning style and present information in a more engaging way. Question 23. An organization has implemented a new project management office, PMO, with a focus on standardizing processes and improving project predictability. However, many experienced project managers are resistant to adopting the new templates and guidelines, viewing them as bureaucratic overhead that stifles agility. What is the most effective approach for the PMO to overcome this resistance? A. Mandate the use of all new templates and escalate non-compliance to senior management. B. Develop a phased implementation plan, incorporating feedback from experienced project managers on how to tailor processes. C. Disband the PMO and allow project managers to use their preferred methods to maintain flexibility. D. Focus on demonstrating the benefits of standardization by showcasing successful project outcomes achieved using the new processes. Answer: B. Develop a phased implementation plan, incorporating feedback from experienced project managers on how to tailor processes. Resistance to change, especially from experienced professionals, is best addressed through involvement and demonstrating value. The most effective approach for the PMO is to develop a phased implementation plan that actively incorporates feedback from the experienced project managers. This collaborative tailoring of processes makes them feel heard and allows for adjustments that improve usability and perceived value, reducing resistance and fostering ownership, while still moving toward standardization. It's like introducing a new tool to skilled craftspeople. You involve them in testing and refining it to ensure it truly enhances their work, rather than just forcing them to use it. Question 24. A project manager is leading a cross-functional team in developing a new product. During a critical phase, two key team members from different departments are in a persistent conflict over the technical approach, significantly impacting progress. The project manager has attempted mediating their discussions, but the conflict persists. What is the most appropriate next course of action for the project manager? A. Replace both team members to eliminate the source of conflict. B. Temporarily separate the team members and assign them to different, non-interdependent tasks. C. Facilitate a win-win negotiation session, emphasizing the project's overall goals and seeking a collaborative solution. D. Escalate the conflict to the functional managers of the team members for resolution. Answer: C. Facilitate a win-win negotiation session, emphasizing the project's overall goals and seeking a collaborative solution. When persistent conflict impacts project progress and direct mediation isn't enough, the project manager's most appropriate action is to facilitate a structured win-win negotiation. This approach focuses on finding a mutually agreeable solution that aligns with the project's overall goals, rather than forcing a compromise or escalating too quickly. It empowers the team members to resolve their differences while reinforcing the importance of collaboration for the project's success. Think of it like a parent helping two children find a way to share a toy so both can play together, rather than just taking the toy away or letting them fight. Question 25. An Agile team is consistently delivering features that meet the sprint goal, but the product owner and stakeholders feel that the product is not evolving quickly enough to meet market demands. They observe competitor products launching similar features faster. As the Scrum Master, What is the most valuable improvement initiative to suggest to the team during the next retrospective? A. Focus on reducing technical debt to improve future development speed. B. Explore ways to reduce the time to market for delivered features beyond just the sprint cycle. C. Advise the product owner to prioritize smaller, more frequently releasable items in the product backlog. D. Initiate a cross-training program to increase team versatility and reduce individual bottlenecks. Answer: B. Explore ways to reduce the time to market for delivered features beyond just the sprint cycle. If an Agile team is meeting its sprint goals but the overall product evolution feels too slow compared to market demands, the bottleneck often lies beyond the sprint cycle itself, in the broader value stream. The most valuable improvement initiative for the Scrum Master to suggest is to explore ways to reduce the time to market for delivered features. This encourages the team to identify and remove impediments in the end-to-end process, such as lengthy testing cycles, manual deployments, or complex release procedures, which can significantly accelerate the delivery of value to users. Think of it like a car manufacturer reducing the time it takes for a new model to go from the factory floor to the dealership, not just optimizing the assembly line.